Hello, everyone. It's Kyle Snow, certified leather care technician representing Leatheringscom. Today, we're diving into a crucial topic. Leather is made from which animal? We'll be looking into the wide variety of animals whose skins are used in the leather industry, discussing how the leather is made, and touching on some important ethical considerations. And of course, we'll be talking about alternatives like vegan leather and new sustainable options that are popping up on the market. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, get comfy, and let's get started. Understanding the leather industry. First things first, let's talk about the leather industry as a whole. Leather has been around for thousands of years, pretty much since humans figured out that they could use animal skins to create durable clothing, shelter, and tools. Fast forward to today, and leather is still hugely popular, especially for products like jackets, shoes, bags, furniture, and even car interiors. But here's the thing. The leather industry is closely linked to the meat industries and the dairy industry. It's important to understand that most leather is actually a byproduct of these industries. That means that the leather we use often comes from the same animals that are raised for meat and dairy products. So when you hear terms like real leather or genuine leather, you're usually talking about leather made from animal hides that were sourced from cattle farms, sheep herds, pig farms, and so on. All right, now that we've got a bit of context, let's dive into the animals themselves. Common animals used for leather production. So, what animals are most commonly used for making leather? Well, the most popular one by far is, drumroll, please, the cow. Cow leather, or bovine leather, is the most widely used type of leather in the world. It's durable, versatile, and can be processed in a variety of ways to create different finishes and textures. You've probably heard terms like grain leather and split leathers. Grain leather comes from the top layer of the hide and is considered the highest quality because it's tougher and ages beautifully. Split leather, on the other hand, comes from the lower layers of the hide and is often used for suede or cheaper leathers. But cows aren't the only animals used for leather production. Sheep and goats are also quite popular, especially for softer, more lightweight leathers. If you've ever felt a super soft leather jacket or a pair of gloves that felt like a second skin, there's a good chance it was made from sheep or goat leather. These leathers are often used in garments because they're easier to wear and more flexible than cowhide. And then there's pig leather, which might surprise some people. Pig leather is often used for shoes, gloves, and bags. It has a distinctive grainy texture and is actually quite durable, making it perfect for everyday items that get a lot of use. Now, let's get into the more exotic stuff. We're talking crocodile skins, ostrich skins, and even kangaroo leather. These are often referred to as exotic leathers. They're highly sought after for their unique textures and patterns. For example, crocodile leather is famous for its distinctive scale pattern and is often used in luxury items like handbags, wallets, and belts. It's incredibly durable, but also incredibly expensive. Ostrich leather, on the other hand, is known for its unique dotted pattern. The bumps you see on ostrich leather come from the follicles where feathers used to be. It's soft, flexible, and surprisingly strong, which is why it's a favorite for high-end fashion and accessories. And then there's kangaroo leather, which is lightweight yet incredibly strong, often used in high-performance gear like soccer shoes and motorbike suits. Now, all this talk of exotic leathers might have some of you cringing a bit, especially if you're an animal lover. And that brings us to an important part of the conversation: the ethical implications of using animal skins for leather. Ethical considerations and alternatives to traditional leather. Let's face it, not everyone is comfortable with the idea of wearing or using leather, and that's okay. In recent years, we've seen a growing movement toward more ethical and sustainable practices within the leather industry. This has given rise to alternatives like vegan leather and artificial leather. Vegan leather is made from a variety of materials, ranging from synthetic products like polyurethane to more natural materials like cork, mushroom, and even fruit. You might have heard of apple leather, which is made from the waste apple peel left over from the juice industry. It's eco-friendly, sustainable, and actually feels quite a lot like the real thing. Artificial leather, or imitation leather, is another option. It's made to mimic the look and feel of genuine leather, but without using any animal products. While these alternatives can be a great choice for people looking to avoid animal products, it's worth noting that not all of them are created equal. Some synthetic leathers can be less durable and less breathable than real leather, and they might not age as gracefully. But on the other hand, vegan and artificial leathers have come a long way. With new technology, many of these products now offer quality leather alternatives that are both stylish and sustainable. And let's be honest, they're usually much cheaper than real exotic leathers like crocodile or ostrich. The leather production process. All right, now that we've talked about the different types of leather and the animals they come from, let's dig into how leather is actually made. This process is called tanning, and it's a fascinating combination of old-world craftsmanship and modern technology. The tanning process begins with animal hides that are sourced from the meat production and dairy industries. These hides are considered a byproduct of meat and dairy, which means they would often go to waste if they weren't used in leather production. So in a way, the leather industry does help minimize waste, but it's not without its issues, which we'll get into shortly. There are several tanning methods, but the most common one today involves using chromium salt. This method, known as chrome tanning, is popular because it's quick and produces a soft, pliable leather that's also water resistant. However, it's not exactly the most environmentally friendly method. Chromium is a toxic chemical and can cause serious environmental damage if not handled properly. Then there's vegetable tanning, one of the oldest methods around. It uses natural tannins found in tree bark, leaves, and other plant materials. This method is slower and more expensive, but it produces a rich, warm-colored leather that's often considered more eco-friendly. However, vegetable tanned leather can be less resistant to water, so it has its own set of trade-offs. After tanning, the leather goes through a series of finishing processes, like the leather dyeing process to give it its final color, and sometimes it undergoes treatments like vacuum drying to make it more durable. The method of drying is actually super important because it affects the texture and durability of the final product. And speaking of durability, this is where the quality of the leather really comes into play. Higher quality leather, like grain leather, is made from the top layer of the hide and is treated in a way that retains its natural look and feel. On the other hand, split leathers are made from the lower layers of the hide and are often less durable and more prone to wear and tear. They're often used for cheaper leathers that might look good initially but don't hold up as well over time. The global leather trade and its impact. Host. Now, let's take a quick look at the global leather trade. Did you know that some of the largest exporters of leather in the world include countries like Italy, Brazil, India, and China? These countries have massive leather factories and production centers that contribute to both the local economy and the global market. Leather production is big business, but it's not without its controversies. Many of these countries face criticism over the conditions in which animals are raised, the working conditions in tanneries, and the environmental impact of leather production. The use of toxic chemicals like chromium salt in the tanning process and the large amounts of water required for processing have raised a lot of red flags among environmentalists. But on the flip side, the leather industry also supports thousands of jobs and is a major source of income for many developing countries. It's a complex issue, and like many things in life, there are no simple answers. The future of leather, sustainable practices and innovations. So, where does that leave us? What does the future of leather look like? There's a growing movement towards more sustainable practices within the leather industry. Many brands are now focusing on sourcing hides more responsibly, reducing water usage, and minimizing their environmental footprint. At the same time, alternatives like vegan leather and innovative materials like apple leather are gaining popularity. These materials offer a way to enjoy the look and feel of leather without some of the ethical and environmental concerns. And with technology advancing rapidly, who knows what other exciting alternatives we'll see in the future. So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the world of leather, from cows to crocodiles, tanning processes to ethical alternatives. Leather is such a fascinating material with a rich history and a complicated present. But whether you're a fan of traditional leather or excited about new alternatives, there's no denying its impact on fashion, culture, and society. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to Leatherings and leave us a review. And don't forget to check out our other episodes where we talk about everything from how to care for your leather products to the latest trends in leather fashion. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.